Well, good morning, folks, to the last day of June 2026. It's the 30th. Had that full moon happening last night. The moon is setting. Well, let's go over here a second and see what's happening with the sunrise. You can see they've been up here again, the alumni, after graduation at Western, and did a few donuts. Auto shop again, went to their heads. Be right back. Well, here is the valley, just about 25 minutes now before sunrise. Hoping to see a beautiful sunrise. We're supposed to get maybe 20% chance of rain today, but 100-degree temperatures they're calling for all the way through Thursday, and they said that the temperatures will feel like 103 to 105, and they're calling for of course, people respiratory problems, stay inside. They haven't issued a ozone action day yet. Those happen from time to time. They get really hot weather, you can't mow your yard. They don't want extracurricular gasoline engines running and things like that. You're not supposed to fuel up your car. If you do, you fuel it up, they say, in the morning before it gets too hot out. Something about the fuel starts evaporating as you're pumping it into your car and gets into the air or something. I don't know. You're not supposed to fuel. I'll tell you, if my yard needs mowing, I mow it. If my car needs gas, I fill it. Okay? Ozone Action Day. I don't think we're going to have that today, but it is going to be humid. And very hot, muggy. So right now it's 80 degrees. It's 80 degrees. I didn't run any AC last night. I have a nice fan in my sleeping chamber, and so that's good for now. But there will be some hours I'll have that on. That's for sure. Like a little later today. I don't know what's worse, say worse, what you tolerate better, I guess. The extreme cold in the winter or the extreme hot in the summer, the mugginess. It's easier to stay, cooler than it is warm. In the wintertime, you lose your heat, you'll freeze to death. Your pipes will freeze and burst and everything. You can put your food outside in an ice chest, that'll stay. Keep the chest locked and tight, put it in the back of your car or something overnight so the bears don't get it, right? But in the summertime, you can't escape the heat unless you have a garden hose or you sit outside in a lawn chair under a sprinkler, AC, things like that. There are cooling centers, like we have warming centers all over town. They'll be opening up the fire hydrants in the different neighborhoods. They put a little device on the fire hydrants. It's like a big shower head. They turn them things on. Some of them have multiple things. They're like a manifold. They can turn that on and shoot water all around. The kids running through it, the adults running through it. And they do that to keep the neighborhoods a little cool and so forth. I've seen as many as 8 hydrants open down here in Kalamazoo. And the kids and the adults just having a hoot there. To stay cool. There are splash pads around town as well. Brand new one just opened west of town here. They'd have to, if you don't have a vehicle to drive, it's about 15 miles away, but another splash pad. So that's what goes on around Kalamazoo in the Big Valley. I don't know if any of you are following the World Cup. Well, Fast Eddie has been. Getting down there. Few teams here getting down here very close. One of my favorite teams, they got bagged yesterday, Germany. U.S. is playing here in just a couple of days, and we'll see if they stay or go home. They have a darn good team. Go USA. The Germans had a good team too, but you can't deny that a lot of these teams that they're fielding Many of the players are not natural to that country that they're representing. Yeah, they're bringing in ringers. They're bringing in ringers from all over the place. It reminds you of the Olympics in a way. You know, I'm an American citizen. I'm born and raised here. I have an American passport, but I'm skiing for France. No. I think that it's my own feeling that it dilutes the competition when you don't have the natural born citizens from that country, or they have citizenship in that country and that is their only passaporto. Well then, you know, run for France, swim for France. Okay, it's all right. But I think that here, like Team USA, you know, we've had some players and some competitors on our teams that were certainly not born here. They certainly don't live here. They visited the United States a couple of times, but they're really good at their sport, and so come on aboard. You're part of the team. I think that's kind of poaching and going over and, you know, hey, we're going to take the best these people have, sign them up, give them a passaporto, and hey, now you're playing under our flag. I don't know. It's all good competition, but when I see Central and Western European soccer teams that don't have and this is not racist at all, it's a fact, they don't have a white player on their team. And I laugh, I go, yeah, all right. And you look, you say, well, this fella here, he was one of the best Jamaican players that they had 2 years ago, and on and on and on. I'm going, well, yes, they're just selecting what they can get, bringing them on the team and pumping the team up, and then going into competition. You know, we're Spain. This is the Spanish team. How many of the people on your Spanish team speak Spanish? 5 or 6. Couple speak Swahili, and there's an American. We don't exactly know what he speaks. I guess it's English. I just get a kick out of it. But anyways, the U.S. has a great game coming up. We're gonna love it. I'll be right back. And I hope that the U.S. at least gets on the podium, as they call it, in the Olympics. First, second, or third. I'd hate to think that we're going to get knocked out today. I mean, not today, but this Thursday, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. I don't even have my day straight. Too early in the morning. Be right back. Hey, people have asked me about these tall buildings in Kalamazoo. See one right here straight ahead of us. Tell you a little bit about that building. That's the Hinman Skyrise. Was built a couple of decades ago by the Hinman Corporation, Mr. Hinman and his family. It's right on the corner of Burdick Street and Walnut. Right where that building sits was a Union 76 gas station back in the day. My grandma's house sat right across the street from it there on your right. This happens to be Walnut Street right here at our feet. It goes all the way down past the Hinman Skyrise. My parents, for 22 years, they lived on the 20th floor right here on the right end of the building. If you look at all those windows, go the second windows from the top. Okay, second windows from the top, and that was their apartment. There's 2 there in the light colored masonry, and you go into the brick, and there is more there, and then you go into a little angular lighter colored masonry again. That was their bedroom window. So they had a big apartment. It was called a New Yorker. That was the style of it. It had a big balcony. It's over on the other side of that masonry right there, overlooking towards the southeast. Well, you could stand in their kitchen and look up and down the mall. You had a beautiful view of the entire valley. I'd stand up there and look right here where I'm at right now. Yep. And take a look. I didn't go out on their balcony. It's a long ways down, and I just I just didn't like it. The wind gets blowing out there and so forth. I just don't take chances like that. I know it's safe, but there you go. Now on the 21st floor, okay, that's as high as the private elevators go, or as the public elevators go. And the people that live in the penthouse that's on the very top of the building, around where you see the red lights. There should be 5 of them right there, as you can see. That's all the penthouse. That little outcropping or cupola there on the top of the building, that's all the elevator shaft and everything in there for the elevators. Okay, but the penthouse is up there in the very top. There was a banker that lived there at one time. And the basement of the skyrise is parking. Now that's parking for floors 16 and up. That's right where you see the masonry start, the large outcropping on the top of the building. That's floor 16 on up to 22. The penthouse is actually 22. Floors 1 through 16 are smaller apartments and subsidized housing. When my parents bought their condo in here from the Hinmans, the rules changed, and they no longer could have a condo. So the Hinmans had to change that whole floor 16 on up into rental luxury apartments, and that way that they could have both the subsidized income and renters, leasers in the same, leasees in the same building. And so I remember my parents, they had put a amount down on the place because they bought it. And then when they were told here, a couple of months, 3-4 months later, that things were going to change, they says, well, can you just credit us what we put down on it for the monthly rents, and then let us know when we owe, when the rent is due again. And so that's what they did. And it all worked out. They lived there 22 and a half years. Yeah. I used to see some pretty good views from up there. My mom used to sit in her kitchen with her binoculars and look up and down the mall and watch people with her binoculars coming in and out of the Blue Dolphin and other things. Just looking at people, not writing things down or anything, just something to do. The Bronson Medical Center right down here, their helicopter landing pads just on the other side there of the Hinman building. And we'd hear the helicopter come in and stand out and watch it come right by the windows. You could see the mustache on the pilot. Yeah. Now I lived west of here back in the day, about 14-15 miles, and I'd hear the helicopter coming in from the west. We knew where it was going, and I'd call my mom. I said, hey, look outside. About 3 minutes, the chopper's going to come right by your windows. And my mom would get my dad, and they'd look out, and they said, yeah, we can hear it, we can hear it. And all of a sudden, here it comes, and come right by their windows. She would just love that when I'd call her and give them a heads up. And I do that with bad weather, too. Watch out, it's coming. We're really getting hit out here. And so and it wasn't long, and they'd get hit down here, too. Yep. Those are the days. Mom and Dad have been gone for many years. Many years. And there you go. I've never been in the penthouse there. You take the standard elevator, I call it, up to the 21st floor, and then if you're going up to the penthouse, there's another elevator there on the 21st. You get out, you board that one. It takes a special key and everything else, as you know, it's very secure. And then you ride up one floor, and it deposits you in your foyer. Now, there's underground parking under the building. Each one of the condos, as it were, from 16 to 21, get 2 parking spots. Okay, if you're up in the penthouse, you get 4. You get 4 parking spots down there. Yeah. All right, the Hinman building, the Hinman skyrise. All right, I'll be right back. There is a big air show over in Battle Creek at the airport there, Kellogg Field. Also a hot air balloon ascension. They showed one of the big stars of the show fly in yesterday afternoon. They have a really cool drone. I can't remember its exact designation right now, but I believe it's known as the Reaper. It's the big brother of the Predator. And they showed that bad boy come in and land, do a precision landing there in Battle Creek yesterday afternoon. Of course, they won't tell you where it's being controlled from. You'd think they'd have a little mobile unit right there in a van or something on the airfield, and have the officer flying the aircraft from that. But they probably won't show you. They probably won't tell you. You won't know. They'll just probably tell you that the pilot is far removed from Battle Creek, Michigan. But wherever it is, that's going to be the thing there. They might have. I didn't see if the snowbirds were going to be there. I know the Blue Angels aren't going to be there. Sometimes the Thunderbirds come there. All out in the open. I don't stand outside. I'm very sorry. I go to the car shows. I can duck inside, you know, make a nice little walk here and there. I don't do the sun very well. With a hat on or not, the sun is not Fast Eddie's friend at all. And so to stand out there in those big wide open fields just baking, watching a couple of airplanes, they're going to have a decent 2-hour performance. And then of course at nighttime they have the balloon ascensions and so forth. That would be cool to go and see. But I have to wait and see how Fast Eddie's doing later in the afternoonage on that day. I might just scoot over there and take a look at those hot air balloons. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, there's a couple other places even closer than that they're going to have ascensions later this summer on an actual northern hot air balloon meet and so forth. And I'm planning on going over there and taking a look. I've never been to a balloon ascension before. I've seen them go up. I've been on single balloons watching them go up and so forth. Personally myself, I think that it takes a lot of cojones to go up in a little wicker basket. 3,000 or 4,000 feet sometimes they go. It doesn't matter, 40 feet and you're sunk, unless you hit on all fours like a cat. Pounce, you'll survive it. Yeah, the military lets us know to get over that height thing. Anything over 20 feet, you're sunk. And so, you know, just get that out of your mind right now. Oh, we're up here at 3,000 feet. Oh, all right. But yeah, no, I've seen baskets go up that had 7 or 8 people in them. Big baskets, big envelope above that. But yeah, it was close to 20 years ago now. My son and I drove down to Dayton and went to go to the Air Museum, the National Museum of Aviation there, the Air Force Museum. And we had no idea they had the big Dayton Air Show that weekend. We got a room, no problem. And I said to my son, well, let's go over and hit the museum for a day. And then the air show starts tomorrow. So get the room for another night, which I did, no problem. And we went to the air show. That was the last one I went to. It was excellent. Biggest air show I'd been to in my life. I thought the ones here in Kalamazoo were great back in the day, the high-end Kalamazoo air shows. But yeah, that was something else. They had the F-117 stealth fighter there. And they had it kind of over in a little area by a hangar. And you should have seen the security on that airplane. There were at least 25 armed MPs standing like a cordon all the way around the rope that they had around the aircraft. There was a couple of 100 people standing there at any one time just watching and gawking and taking photos of the plane and everything else. The closest you could get to it was about 50 feet, 55, 60 feet. Yep. And they made a big deal over that. Now today you can just go out here to the Air Zoo and walk right up and touch Shaba like I've done. You see me standing in its Bombay. If I would have crossed that rope and made it even halfway to that 117 down there in Dayton, you would not have met Fast Eddie. I would have been a grease stain there on that tarmac. Yeah, don't cross the wrong ropes. The red lights on top of the buildings, what are they for? Why would they have those? Why in the world, there's one right there. See the tallest part on those buildings downtown. See? All right, it's because of the proximity to the helicopter landing pad right down here on the other side of the skyrise right there. Okay, yeah, that's all for so the helicopters and aircraft can see the tall buildings at nighttime or bad weather in the daytime. They're coming in, whatever reason. You don't want to run into the Hinman. That's right. And we go across the valley up here on the other side. You can see the pinnacle there of Beacon Healthcare, center of the shot. That's old Borges Hospital right there. They have them there too. They have them on top of that building as well. So those are aviation aids, visual aids for aviation. You'll see that on any buildings pretty much in the world. First and second world nations, I should say. I don't know about the third world. But yes, that's what those are. I bet you in Chicago, there's thousands of them downtown. Yeah, I say thousands. I'm sure that there are, we'll just say, more than 100. This is not only a great spot to come and look at weather and just general shots over the valley. News 3 comes here all the time. That's their little spot. They like to stand right there. I like to stand right here, pretty much behind this this brick and cement. Okay. Well, why would you want to do that, Fast Eddie? But you just never know. And somebody will look outside, look up here and see Fast Eddie standing here with a straw hat on and everything, looking down here with a camera down there and maybe wondering, what is he filming? What is he up to? What kind of a cop is he or whatnot? And all of a sudden you're standing here, you're talking to the folks just like I am right now, and you'll hear something go, zip, boom, zip, boom. You go, what the heck? They're shooting at me. You have to get down, man. Get out of here. It hasn't happened in the past, but I'm not taking any chances. Fast Eddie is not going to get out into that. So just for safety's sake, and I had heard this from 2 people that come up here on sunrises, they will not stand along here where it's just the open gate, like right here. They want something between them and what could happen. I don't blame them. I do the same thing. Remember one time my brother brought his rangefinder with him, come down to do some hunting out on our farm. We're up there visiting my parents and checking out that rangefinder. It looks like a little handheld monocular. It's kind of heavy, and I think it was about $1,000. Pretty expensive. But we're up there in their kitchen window, and I aimed it right over here to the front porch here at Heritage Hall, and took a reading, see how far away that this was, and sadly it wasn't powerful enough to reach this distance. It only would give readings to 1,000 meters. This is as the eye sees it, and so that building's more than 1,000 meters away. Really hard to believe. It is dead quiet over the valley. There's no sirens, no traffic. You'd think it was Christmas morning, but businesses are open, you know. You just don't see anything. Even behind me here on Oakland Drive, Generally you hear cars, it's must be the big holiday week, everybody taking the week off for the holiday or something. Pretty quiet, which is good. Folks there walking through the neighborhood. Little morning constitutional, walking the dog. Very quiet, very still. It's eerie, actually. I'm not used to this. Stille Nacht. Stille Morgen. Well, you can just see our solar event happening right there. Center of the frame. Just popping up over the tree line there off in the distance. Very nice little look right here. Some wildflowers and the sumac coming on nicely. Well, it's the sunrise making its way. Alrighty, folks. Thanks again for subscribing and watching the Fast Eddie's Adventures. I sure appreciate it. That thumbs up and notification bell. That all helps too. See some more of these things. I'd like to think even better ones coming. I'll do my best. That's for sure. Please stay safe out there today. And I'll do the same. Probably be a couple days here. And I'll get another video out soon as I'm out in this stuff. I do have some then and nows. And we're still going up to Grand Rapids to the cemetery there. Check that out. All right. Thanks again for watching. I sure appreciate it. Please stay safe.